This is a nice church. This is in my old neighborhood. Really old. Because I'm 56. I was born just across the street. Well, I was born in the hospital, but Mom and Dad lived just across the street on Farmington Avenue, opposite the Emmanuel, that's a Jewish word, Congregational Church, and kitty corner from this guy's house. Yes, that would be Samuel Clemens, known as Mark Twain. So it is still a largely nice neighborhood. But then there's blemishes. And there's one of them. The next building over from Mark Twain's house is now boarded up. There's a reason for any building that is boarded up. And it is not private industry. It's because there is a government misincentive for somebody who normally would make money by beautifying it, renting it, but instead, this person makes enough money by having a tax credit. Something that, when used skillfully, makes a lot of sense. Tax credits can, and I think should be used by the state at times, maybe by the cities, but they need to be more honed in and looked at. Why is this building still derelict? I don't know, but somebody in City Hall does. By the way, there are other things that people in City Hall don't do like they should. When you find somebody who has absconded on one occasion, they've probably done it on many occasions. I know of agents, not in Hartford, but in other parts of New England, who are proud that, hey, they got somebody to settle up for a misdeed financial in 1999. Well, did they investigate 1998, 1997, maybe years even after that? They don't routinely do this. The City Hall is taken as their dupes. They're suckers. Really, we are. We are because cities don't act like businesses. Private activity and government activity are so different. Private is better. When there's a transaction, a willing seller and a willing buyer, it has to be good. By definition, a buyer in a free market transaction is happy to pay that amount or even more, and he's getting a good deal, from that seller. Government transactions are done by force. Almost everything they do is not voluntary. This is a big problem because we are the captives of things that we don't necessarily like, that we wouldn't pay for on our own. Free market, we pay fine. Government, we pay because of force. That if we don't, or if we don't conform to their regulations, force is going to come at us and maybe put us in jail. That's what government does. Private industry has no compulsion element, and for that reason alone, it should be looked at with wholesomeness. Ah, there it is. My first 3 years of life were spent here, 388 Farmington Avenue. I'm going to introduce myself at some point. In conclusion, governments should be run more like business. Business is run to make a profit. They have to be ethical enough to convince people over and over and over. Now, the fly-by-night, that can be a sham. But if you see a business that's been around for 5 years or more, it can't be bad. And government, whether that's local or state or federal, should start emulating business practices. I'm Mark Stewart, fan of free markets, fan of Hartford coming back with the aid of free markets. From Farmington Avenue, Mark Stewart.